Good morning, everyone. Let me begin by acknowledging that we are on the traditional territory of the Stolo First Nation. I'm Henry Braun. I'm the mayor of the city of Abbotsford, and today I declared a state of local emergency for the city of Abbotsford following the extreme rainfall that has resulted in several localized emergencies within our city. Various small mudslides and localized flooding have occurred in many areas within the city, and as some of you may know, the city of Abbotsford is the largest geographical city in the province, so we have a lot of ground to cover. Evacuation orders and alerts have been issued for a number of areas, ensuring that the safety of Abbotsford residents and infrastructure, which is our #1 priority. Declaring a state of local emergency allows the city of Abbotsford to provide enhanced support to manage the emergency. This is essential in order to help protect the health, safety, and welfare of the people of Abbotsford and their properties. All city resources are currently engaged in mitigating these emergencies, including the Abbotsford Police, Fire and Rescue, Engineering, and Public Works. The state of local emergency will remain in effect for 7 days until November 23 at midnight. Unless, of course, canceled by the order of the City of Abbotsford Emergency Operations Center, which has been up since yesterday afternoon. I'm joined here today by Fire Chief Darren Lee and APD Chief Mike Sear, and we are here to answer your questions. And so I'm going to turn it over to Chief Darren Lee first.
I have just a bit of an update, if it's okay if I go through that, and then if you have questions for me after, I'm happy to answer them. So, actually, I'll pop this off, pardon me. So, obviously the rainstorm started approximately 10 o'clock yesterday, and our crews became kind of quickly involved down in Clayburn Village. So by about 2 p.m. they were involved with supporting locals and sandbagging, working with Abbotsford engineering staff to try and truck sand and sandbags in and protect homes in the Clayburn Village area. Around about 4:15 p.m. the on-call duty officer for the fire department decided that it was time to activate the Emergency Operations Center. So it put us all on the same page with Abbotsford Police, engineering staff, parks, and other key staff from the city, and just coordinate our response better. We ended up initiating evacuation alerts for Clayburn Village, Eagle Mountain, Dawson Road area, which is, there's a section up there on Straighten that has been upgraded to an actual evacuation for, I believe, 7 homes in that area. And then obviously Sumas Prairie, with respect to what's going on with the Nooksack River, is one we're keeping a really close eye on, but there's an evacuation alert down there. We also issued alerts late last night for 10 Oaks and Matsqui, the small section of Matsqui Village that was problematic. We also, working with our emergency support services volunteers, we set up a reception center at Abbotsford Rec Center. The sub was done yesterday afternoon, and that reception center is running right now. So the EOC, we maintained a minimal EOC presence over the night, and then started back up again this morning at 6 a.m. and then brought a bunch of staff, a lot more staff in at 8 o'clock. Sort of the situation with flooding and washouts and landslides right now is daylight gave us opportunity to find a lot of the things that maybe we missed overnight and properly assess what's going on. So right now our engineering folks are really busy with assessments. The morning commute was a tough one just because of road closures and things like that. And Abbotsford Fire's dealt with a number of incidents along with police. And right now we're kind of forecasting this weather event and keeping a really close eye on the Nooksack.
In total, how many homes do you think are an evacuation alert? And it's not an evacuation order, to clarify.
Alert, I think we're north of 100. I think it's probably about 104 homes are on alert, roughly, and I believe it's 7 are on actual evacuation order.
How bad is the situation in your point of view compared to years prior?
I think one thing the mayor brought up just at the start is that Abbotsford is a really big city, so there's diverse problems around. So there's in the hilly areas, there's mudslides, in the low-lying areas, there's flooding, and there's washing out of roads. And plus, a lot of folks not only come to work or leave for work from Abbotsford, but they're coming to and from Mission as well. So the morning commutes, especially challenging with and then with obviously the border closed last night, and I'm not sure on the status of it, but so it was just that the morning commute was pretty busy for us.
But nobody hurt.
As far as we know, there was some motor vehicle incidents this morning, but as far as updates on injuries and things like that, I don't have that
And in terms
information.
of outside, it's not anything that was too detrimental, it's just one of the roads that have been closed off. And maybe it's a little
Yeah.
bit wrong.
So most of the mudslides we have seen, or slides that we have seen, have blocked roadways and whatnot, but some of them have affected homes. That's why we have the evacuation order on those 7 homes on Straighten. So
Any homes flooded here?
a lot of what we were hearing in the UC is a lot of flooding in crawl spaces and basements.
Are you able to talk about prioritizing, like where you're going first? We've been hearing stories from residents that have made their own sandbags and kind of jumped in
Right.
themselves.
Yeah. So our job is to work with and assist residents. So we kind of prioritize as flooding starts to come up in different areas. It's not uniform across the city. So if something backs up or whatever, we kind of deal with them as they come on a priority basis. But also, like the mayor said too, is we're looking at public safety is the overall one. So if it was something to do with, say, a road that was washed out, that might trump something else. So we just don't want to have somebody have a major accident because of an issue with a road or something like that. And engineering, APD has been awesome about getting out and getting those road closures in.
Can you describe how the night went and the number of calls, how busy you were?
I think for fire, since the rain event started sort of till this morning, we responded to about 100 calls for service, which is a pretty busy night for Abbotsford Fire Rescue. And sort of, as I mentioned, it was when people started their commute in the morning, that's when we started to get busy again. So it kind of died off overnight and then came rushing back around 6 a.m.
This part of the Fraser Valley is considered the breadbasket of the country. When you explain to the rest of Canada what's happened here, how would you describe it?
It's a lot of what you see is just with the rivers backing up, it's overland flooding, and a lot of low-lying areas in a lot of Abbotsford. Obviously we're on the Fraser, and that hasn't been an issue. It's been a lot of the smaller rivers, tributaries coming out of the mountains that have been problematic for us.
Any livestock or animals?
I think right now farmers have been working to manage their livestock and whatnot, but we haven't, as far as the best of my knowledge, we haven't had to move any livestock.
Can you get the spelling of your name?
Sure. It's Darren is D-A-R-R-E-N and Lee is L-E-E. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Chief Steer?
I was just going to maybe really quickly add, so as the Chief Lee has said and the Mayor, we've had extra resources on all night going into today, and we expect all through the next few days. I want if our community can please stay abreast with our social media, with Abbotsford City social media, Abbey PD social media. There's updates on there at real time. It is changing very quickly, and we're monitoring, as I said, in the Operations Center, just looking at what becomes higher risk all the time. Just to ask people in our community to really be careful around the barricades. We've had a few incidents where people have gone around barricades, have become trapped, on the sides of roads with flooding, or their vehicles have become bogged down. So it's really critical that you follow through. We can't be on every road that is out there. And our other concern, obviously, is we're monitoring very closely, is the high winds that are coming. With the very saturated soil that we have, that could be very concerning. So again, we're reaching out to all the experts and just assessing, like I said, on an hour basis. But something just for our community, just to be very mindful of as they see those winds, to please stay inside, try to avoid travel, and help us out as much as you can.
Sometimes it's misleading when you're by those, small rivers or creeks. And
Yeah.
I saw people walking by there. What warning do you have for them?
Yeah, absolutely. You see some of the social media of people, literally right beside a creek, and that side of the creek can just give way in seconds. And we've seen the tragic consequences of that. So please stay away from high running water. Report it to us, but we don't need the video of it. We can get it elsewhere, but I don't want anyone to put themselves in danger at all. So.
Anybody else have anything?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
If you have some sidebar questions, I can answer them here.
Mayor Braun, the rest of Canada, we often talk about states of emergency, fires and floods, etc. How would you describe this state of emergency for the rest of Canada?
Well, this is a serious event. I've lived here for 68 years. I've not seen this kind of rainfall in those 68 years. So we are very concerned about the safety of our residents and their properties, and we are full on across the city And as Chief Sear has said, please don't go and put yourself in harm's way. Just notify us, check our website, check our social media channels, and we will get the necessary help to you in order, because we can't be everywhere. And we don't know everything, and even this morning, since daybreak, we are learning things that we didn't know last night.
It's probably too early to assess the damage, but is there any figure that you could put on it?
No, at this point, I have no idea. I don't think anybody does, because we don't know everything that's out there yet, and may come. The wind event is a concern to me. The ground is saturated, we have a lot of big trees here, and so I am concerned about that as well. And for the safety of our first responders as well, we need to look after them and protect them as well. Anybody else? Good? Thank you.
Okay.